What happens when a Hollywood star-turned-royal sits across from one of America's most beloved talk show hosts, only for the chat to unravel into one of daytime TV's most shocking clashes? The Jennifer Hudson Show, known for warmth, compassion, and authenticity, delivered something very different that day. What began as a friendly, harmless interview with Meghan Markle spiraled into tension, ego, and unfiltered emotion in a dramatic breakdown no one in the studio saw coming. Stay tuned. This isn't a routine celebrity segment. It's the day the Duchess met her match. The studio buzzed with anticipation. Producers moved briskly with last-minute notes, and a lively audience, daytime loyalists and curious onlookers, sat ready, applause signs glowing. There was usually an easy warmth on Jennifer's stage. But today, it felt heavier. Jennifer appeared to her signature applause, stunning in a vibrant emerald dress that shimmered under the lights. She waved broadly, her energy filling the room. "Welcome back, everybody," she beamed. "Today, we have a very, very special guest. She's been at the center of conversations worldwide, a philanthropist, a mother, a public figure who's never been afraid to speak her truth. Please welcome Meghan Markle." Polite cheers rose. Meghan stepped out, posture impeccable, chin high. She offered a faint smile that never fully softened. Jennifer greeted her with open arms. "Meghan, welcome. Thank you for joining us." "Thank you, Jennifer," Meghan replied, smoothly warm but measured. "I'm happy to be here." They settled in. Jennifer's bright smile filled the frame while Meghan adjusted her blazer with practiced poise. The camera tightened as Jennifer began in her trademark warmth. "So," she leaned in slightly, "how has it been adjusting to life here in the U.S.? I know it must be a change from London." Meghan's smile thinned. Her brows lifted a fraction. A short laugh. "Is that your way of saying I wasn't welcome there?" The audience chuckled, uncertain. Jennifer blinked, smile taut but intact. "No, not at all. I just meant it's a big cultural shift moving from one place to another." Meghan crossed a leg, tone cooling. "Life is a cultural shift wherever you go. I don't define myself by geography. If others define me by whether I was welcomed somewhere, that says more about them than me." Jennifer nodded carefully, composure steady. "I hear you. A lot of our viewers were curious how that transition felt for you personally." "Personally?" Meghan echoed, tilting her head. "Personally, I've always adapted just fine. I don't spend my life worrying about what people think or how much approval I'm getting. That's exhausting. Some of us move on." The tension, faint but clear, settled in. Jennifer smoothed her dress, glanced at the camera, and continued. "Well, speaking of personal life, people always want to know about you and Prince Harry. How's married life? How are you balancing everything with the kids?" The audience leaned in. Meghan's eyes narrowed slightly toward Jennifer. "Married life is wonderful," she said briskly. "But it's interesting how people cling to every rumor. Harry and I don't need to defend our marriage to tabloids or anyone. Frankly, Jennifer, I'm surprised you'd even ask. Hasn't the gossip been beaten to death?" The air cooled another degree. Jennifer's smile faltered for half a beat before returning. She chuckled lightly to diffuse. "I didn't mean it as gossip. Our audience just loves hearing about family life. That's all." Meghan leaned back, posture rigid. "Then you can tell them we're perfectly fine and they don't need to read into every baseless headline." A faint murmur rolled through the crowd. Jennifer inhaled, keeping her gracious tone. "Fair enough," she said softly. "I respect that." She shuffled her cards, searching for safer ground. "Now, let's talk about your career. What do you feel you've learned since stepping away from that role?" For a beat, Meghan's jaw tightened. The mere mention of royalty seemed too great. "What I've learned," she said, her voice edged with disdain. is that titles and institutions mean nothing if they don't serve humanity. People act like I should be grateful to have been part of that family. The truth is, I outgrew them. Their world is outdated. I've moved on. Perhaps everyone else should, too. A hush fell. Jennifer kept her poise, patience thinning. Some might say being part of that institution gave you a platform to amplify your voice. Do you feel any gratitude for that? Gratitude. Meghan cut in, eyes narrowing. Grateful for being silenced, for endless scrutiny. Gratitude is a weapon people use to keep you quiet and compliant. I've built my own platform. I don't owe them anything. Gasps, whispers. Jennifer's calm facade cracked slightly. She leaned in, voice firmer. All right, let's pivot. There's chatter about your Netflix projects reports. You asked for higher pay for the next season. Any truth to that? Meghan's head snapped toward. Excuse me? Do you think I sit around negotiating with tabloids? Netflix recognizes my value. If people want to frame ambition as greed, that's their problem, not mine. Frankly, Jennifer, I'd expect better than repeating baseless rumors. Jennifer inhaled. The smile stayed, but steel came through. I wasn't quoting tabloids, Meghan. I asked you directly so you could set the record straight. Meghan scoffed, reclining. The record is, I don't owe anyone an explanation for how I negotiate my worth, least of all this audience. Silence. For the first time as host, Jennifer's warmth was overshadowed by something resolute. She adjusted her posture. The smile faded. Well, she said slowly, that's certainly one way to put it. Uneasy laughter rippled. Meghan's jaw set, eyes daring Jennifer to press. Jennifer looked ready to do exactly that. The lights felt hotter, as if the room itself sensed the climb in tension. Meghan sat with arms folded, eyes hard, lips a thin line. Jennifer leaned forward, hands clasped. Her brightness settling into something steady like a singer bracing for a shattering note. All right, Meghan, she said, measured but edged with steel. Let's step back. People have watched your journey from Hollywood to the palace to now. They've heard your story in documentaries, interviews, books, but some feel the narrative keeps shifting. What do you say to those who think you've changed your story over time? The audience leaned in. Meghan tilted her head, voice cool, dismissive. I'd say those people are too invested in dissecting me instead of seeing the bigger picture. I don't owe anyone consistency when my lived experience is complex. If they want a neat little story, they can watch a fairy tale. This is my life. Gasps and murmurs. Jennifer's brows lifted, patience fraying. Fair enough, she said evenly. But surely you see why people are confused. You've said one thing in one interview, another later. Oh, so now you're accusing me of lying. Meghan snapped. I didn't say lying. I said confused, Jennifer replied, lips a firm line. And you're here on my show, so it's fair to ask what's real and what isn't. For the first time, Meghan's warmth vanished. She leaned forward, voice sharp. Let me explain something. When you live under constant attack from the press, the institution, from people who twist everything, you learn truth isn't about timelines or details. It's about survival. If people can't understand that, that's on them. Jennifer held her ground, posture tightening. I hear you. But when you ask people to believe you and build projects around your story, they're going to ask questions. That's not an attack, Meghan. That's accountability. Spontaneous applause. Meghan's jaw clenched. She sat back, voice cold. Accountability. How about the media machine profiting off my pain? How about people who pretend to care while chasing ratings? Jennifer's patience finally cracked. Her voice dropped, sharp but calm. With all due respect, don't come on my show and accuse me of chasing ratings. I built this platform to uplift people and give them space to share their truth. If you can't handle direct questions, maybe interviews aren't for you." Cheers and applause. Meghan's eyes widened. A bitter laugh escaped. "Oh, I see the applause lines, the gotcha moment. Congratulations, Jennifer. Add yourself to the list of people who think they can reduce me to a headline." "No one's reducing you," Jennifer said, leaning in, voice steady but unmistakably firm. "You're doing that yourself. Every time someone asks a question, you snap. Every time someone tries to connect, you turn it into an attack. That's not strength.